Hello, readers and supporters of A Kind of Refugee. My name is Kevin Cohen. I'm a medic in Ukraine, here in beautiful Sumy today. And I am a longtime reader and longtime supporter of the blog. I'd like to thank you for your support of Larissa's fundraising efforts. And I'm going to show you some of the medical gear that we bought with your very kind contributions and where it's gone. Our last shipment of medical supplies went to Ukraine about 2 months ago, and as soon as that went, we started ordering more. On packing day, we assembled 4 people, spread out everything on tarps in the backyard, and got to work. 6 hours later. Yanochka, how would you say the afternoon has gone?
No idea.
Oscar, як стало це завдання? Як стало? Дуже добре. Це круто. Okay, have some cute mother-son conversation.
No.
For our videos. Оскар, що думаєш?
Sit. Sit.
Сідай.
Stay.
Oh.
Look at Kevin. Look at Kevin. No, this is not Kevin.
Українською. Як стало? Як стало? Дуже добре.
Гарна праця. Дуже гарна праця. Чудова. That's it.
Смерть ворогам!
Смерть ворогам.
Would you agree, Laura?
Yeah, I think it was a great day. I think initially we had all that stuff and we had no idea if it was going to fit. And we found all these little nooks and crannies and places to put it in, and it all fit. It's really pretty amazing.
So we cleaned up the mess, took a lot of bags to Poland, got them to Lviv, and sent 20 IFACs to these guys who were in the south, 70 people with no medical supplies whatsoever. We were able to respond to some specific requests from the medics of the Azov Regiment. You have heard about their stand in the steel factory in Mariupol. And we were able to send a large shipment to Mykola, the medical officer of a mechanized artillery battalion, who we have had the pleasure of supporting ever since his unit was founded. I always wondered what kind of a refugee is Larissa, the author of the blog. And now that I know her, I can tell you that she is the kind of refugee who fights back. And when you contribute to the blog, when you read and talk about her posts, and when you support the blog, you're supporting a very important part of the fight against the occupants, the fight in the information space. The biggest and best approach to fighting Russian misinformation is telling the truth. Larissa does that on her blog. The blog gives a wonderful picture of what life is actually like here in Ukraine, and I thank her very much for writing it, and I thank you for supporting it. In the early 2000s, the Russian general Gerasimov published a sort of a position paper in a Russian military journal on how Russia should prosecute future wars. And for him, a big part of the battle space is the information space, and he's a big proponent of the use of social media and misinformation as part of the war efforts. Well, today we see Gerasimov's work here in Ukraine, and you have certainly run across some of the misinformation part of that. The best way to fight misinformation is with the truth. And to me, reading the A Kind of Refugee blog is part of where I see that truth. It gives a very accurate, realistic, and representative picture of what life is like here in Ukraine during the war against the Russian occupiers. And by reading it, by talking about it, by sharing the posts, and by supporting this blog, you are part of that fight against misinformation, and I thank you for that.